to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to Safe Word Pod. I always fuck this part up. We'll do it again. I'm going to leave this in. Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word Podcast. My guest on the show today is Jesus Trejo.
Yeah, perfect. Nailed it.
Trejo? I wanted to say who.
Trejo, but that's
Trejo?
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
Trejo. But yeah, I'll take it. Any which way you say it, I'll take it.
It is a very show business. I've seen that name show up in a variety of, from actors, comedians, directors.
Really?
There's a...
Danny Trejo is probably the most known
famous
Trejo that I have ever come across, you know?
Yeah, that guy's a legend. Have you met him?
You know what? I met him when I was in 10th grade at a LA car show, and I was so excited to see him, and I ran up to him.
What era of that film career when you were in 10th grade?
Let's see. I graduated in 2004.
Was Dust Till Dawn out?
You know what? I don't know.
Right.
Blood in, Blood Out for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was just like, that's Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
And I ran up to him. So
you
excited.
ran up to him.
I ran up to him, and I was just so excited. He had a bodyguard, and he had he had a girl with him. And then so I ran up and I take out my ID. I'm like, "Hey, I'm a Trejo too." He's like, "Oh, don't tell me you're my son." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I'm kidding, kid." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But he was just so quick and super nice. He stopped and took a picture with his chubby kid that was excited to see him, and then kept it moving. You know?
Yeah.
So,
there's some people that play very hard exterior characters in film and television turn out to be some of the nicest people.
Yeah, for sure. And he's one of them, man. He just seems so nice, man. It was just so cool, the fact that he had these bodyguards and they were taking him somewhere with a sense of urgency. They were walking.
Yeah.
And he took 30 seconds out of his day to say that little quick thing, take a picture, and move on. You know, like that was cool. Like I did not expect that. I thought he was gonna have that persona. You know.
I had a similar experience, but it went the opposite way. I was in a Brantford, Ontario, where Wayne Gretzky's from, and I said, "Wayne," and he spit in my face.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's like Ace Ventura.
I said, stay away from my family.
Hey, man, he wasn't wrong.
No. Yeah, he knew. He knew. Well, if you ever, because, you know, you've been in and out of the business here for a while, and especially living in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the best and worst of people. Mm-hmm. Have you been involved or seen it go down bad for yourself? Because sometimes you run into, you just happen to be in the same room with somebody like, holy shit, that's somebody I like to.
I don't think, I can't recall of any instance, but I mean, there's been times where it's like, hey, what's up? And they just kind of give you the nod and it's short. It's like, that's great. I'll take that any day, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I don't think I've had any weird experiences. Like, I usually stay away too. That's my big thing. I try to stay away. I never try to overstay my welcome.
Yeah, you're I think subscribed to similar things where it's like you're going to learn a whole lot more if you just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
So much people are really armbarring themselves into these situations, and then it just taints it all, and you're like, you're a dummy.
Yeah.
We're sitting here with legends in the industry, and you're telling them about your fucking day with your cat?
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it just the things people say, just like, okay. But to each his own. I mean, it's just not my style, but totally. I mean, I've definitely messed up. Like, one of my favorite comedians of all time is JB Smooth, right? And Brian Regan and JB Smooth, my top comics, you know. And I met JB Smooth at a club out here in LA, and And I saw him and I went up to him, and the first thing I was just like, my jaw would drop, and I'm just like, "Hey, you're JB Smooth." And he's like, "It's me, baby." I'm like, and then I just kept holding up my index finger, like, "Man, you're like my number one." He's like, "All right," and he just said, and I fucked that up. You know?
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed, and then I saw Brian Regan at Montreal. Like, he was outside talking to some comics. I'm like, "Oh no, this is not going to happen again." So I just stayed from afar and saw him and kept him moving.
Some dignity.
Yeah, save face for sure.
Yeah. It's you never know like what the situation's going to be, especially at alcohol.
Oh yeah. You add alcohol, it's it's awful.
It goes
You're
bad.
just like, hey buddy. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Hey buddy, that's a very Canadian kind of
Oh
slang.
really?
Hey buddy, what are you doing? Hey.
Hey.
Have you made it over the border?
To Canada?
Yeah.
I done Montreal.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I did 3 years in a row.
I saw you I think maybe the first year, because I've known you for maybe about 7 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I had my 10-year mark this year in
For
comedy.
doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you started where?
I started out here in Long Beach.
Fuck.
Yeah, Long Beach, and then I found my way to
What was the circuit? What rooms
Coffee
were in?
shops.
Yeah.
Cochino had some rooms down there, which was Liquid Lounge.
I've been to Liquid
Springbok.
Lounge.
Did you ever do Springbok?
No, but that's a South African beef jerky.
Yeah, the owner of
Is it South
Springbok,
African?
He's South African rugby player.
See, I'm not so dumb out there, eh?
Hey.
I pulled that. I've been to South Africa multiple times.
Oh, nice.
And I know that word.
Yeah, Springbok.
So the guy's South African that owns the place.
And it was a tiny bar there on Shoreline Village.
Is it like whites only on one side of it? Is he like
No.
Afrikaans, like a white Dutch
No, it
racist
was just
guy?
a little bar, and they had a TV that was way too big for the little bar, and people just go in there. It was like a broy bar, but they had comedy.
Yeah.
Just like it probably fit like, I don't know, 30 people in that little bar, and they had an outside area which was way bigger, but inside it was just tiny, you know.
How many of those guys and ladies that you started out with are still doing stand-up? Two?
No, there's several. I remember seeing
Your
Earl
generation?
Schenkel doing Springbok, you know.
No.
Yeah, he would.
He's a road warrior.
Yeah, man. He would come in with those big
Wrestling or hockey jerseys?
Hockey
Yeah, he
jerseys.
was a big hockey nerd. which
Yeah,
is weird.
man. You know, I remember him, and just a bunch of people that kind of started. They were already out here. I mean, Benji Aflalo, I remember seeing him at Springbok, you know, and then later, that's when I knew he was working at the Comedy Store, and eventually I found my way and started working at the store, and you know,
That's a weird thing because, for me, there's no, entertainment business in Canada.
Right.
It's pretty minimal. So, the big thing is to perform at Yuck Yucks. But you're in California, and the Comedy Store is,
But I admire like people like you who had to move from a faraway place to come here.
Narnia.
From Narnia, because
Yeah.
for me, it's like I'm born and raised, 20 miles south,
Yeah.
25 miles south of here.
Yeah.
But this is still a very distant reality.
Sure.
Because I grew up in the hood, and it's just like Hollywood is like, what are you going to do there? You know? So it's
Yeah.
like I started coming up here like when I was like
Hey,
around,
party, right? Why wouldn't you when you're a kid?
I did not come up here until like I was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
I got this scholarship. Oh, this is funny. I got like in high school scholarship, like some money before I went into college, and it was like I think it was like $500 or $1,000.
Did you get a scholarship for? What was the?
It was just transitioning, first generation transitioning into college.
Okay.
Here's a little something to
Little
get the ball
kickback.
rolling, you know.
Cover some books.
Cover some books, enrollment fees, and that
Yeah.
kind of thing for college. So I'm like, man, I can't get into school with this. It's not enough. It wasn't enough. I remember saying that. So I drove to LA and bought vegetables and fruits, like the people, like wholesale.
Yeah.
And I went to like restaurants and I would sell it to them.
You tell them the
Like
produce.
onions, avocados, the Mexican hustle, you know?
Yeah.
And I did that for a couple months through summer, and I hustled enough money to go into college. Because initially I went into like DeVry. I'm like, oh, this is a shithole. This is not where I want to be.
Went into DeVry? I do joke about that. They have that in Canada too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's like they have infomercials. Like
It was so
DeVry.
awful. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I ended up here. You know, it's like fucking guidance counselors sucked ass.
Yeah.
So I just knew it wasn't where I was.
This is a dead end.
So I got out immediately and went to Long Beach City College, and that's where I needed the money because I had already spent some of that money for fees.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is a waste of time. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, and me not knowing any better. My parents didn't go to college. They're just like, I guess that's where you go.
Yeah.
And so I got out immediately, went to Long Beach City College, blah, blah, blah. That's when I first started coming out here to LA. And then I was like, oh, there's other.
That must have been a beautiful campus, Long Beach City College. It
was cool.
I've been
Yeah.
only the Laugh Factory area, but I was shocked. I thought, LB, just from, hip hop.
Right.
That was my point of reference.
It's
but
diverse.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very diverse. You go from the super rich, and then it just goes to tumbling pieces of shit.
I've never seen any of the hood part of it, but...
Yeah, it can get rough. Northern Long Beach, that's closer to Compton, and then you go to West Long Beach, that's closer like to Wilmington. Mm-hmm. Then the bridge goes into San Pedro, that's on this side, but then on 2nd Street goes into Seal Beach, and that's beautiful down there.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything.
Beach is great. You literally surf there.
Yeah.
It's a surfing beach, right?
Yep. Seal Beach, and then they have like a golf course down there. It's like where Tiger Woods kind of came up through, like a military base. But yeah, Long Beach is a scaled down version of LA. That's what's crazy. It's just smaller because it's not part of LA County. It's its own thing, but it's literally everything you see in LA just scaled down into a smaller thing by the beach.
What's a place in like South Central that's still consistently a scary place to be any time of the day?
Skid Row.
Just Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Like downtown Skid Row? That's what I would know. Like
like downtown.
Yeah.
You're there at the later part of a day, and you're just like,
it's District 9. That place is like there's garbage burning, people are fucked up.
Yeah. It's
like we're talking about
gnarly.
That whole 10 square blocks of just homeless, like super high stakes drug. Like there's an area in Vancouver called Hastings Street, just riddled with heroin addicts and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that street is scarier.
Yeah, it can be because I remember as a kid going down there when my parents would go down to the doctor sometimes and TJ, we would go down there to take one of the buses, and it wasn't even a Greyhound, so it was like a lower tier than a Greyhound bus.
Oh, there's a chicken sitting next to you.
Oh, the works. Nobody had
smell.
luggage. Nobody had luggage. It was just cardboard boxes with string. Run through it.
Yeah. I love when those come down the chutes at the carousel at the airport, and people's shit is all over the place. It's like a piñata.
It's just like a fucking soft boulder tumbling down. I was like, what's going on?
What'd you think was going to happen? There's handles on these things for a reason.
Oh, man. And it was everything you think it is. Guy playing music. I remember there was a guy. Oh, this is great. So we take this bus. We're going to TJ.
How many hours?
What's that?
How many hours?
To San Diego. So it's like, 3-hour bus ride? Probably 4. Hot because there's no AC, cracking a window. Fucking, you just smell fucking
farts.
Just dookie and
BO
and cleaning solution swooshing in the back. That's what you could hear. And I remember there was this dude that got on. He had an accordion. He started playing, right?
Oh,
and it wasn't very good, right?
Oh, no.
And then he takes off his hat and goes around, and my mom puts $1 in there.
Sure.
And my dad got so pissed. He's like, it was garbage. He doesn't know how to play the accordion, and he's asking for money. This is garbage. And the guy was like, well, you don't have to give me money. He's like, no. He's like, I want the $1 back that my wife put in there.
Yeah.
He was that pissed. And it was just so funny. Like, they had this argument, and then the guy got off at the next stop where they picked up more people to go.
He didn't have to get off. He needed to get off.
He needed to get off.
These people are stressing me out. That bitter old man in the back.
Just let me.
I want the $1 back. I want the hat over here so I can take. Hey, you know what? He knows he respects the $1.
Yeah.
You get the work, you get the $1.
Well,
I think
it has to come with some level of proficiency, and he didn't have it.
The fact that he established he couldn't play.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't defend himself. Like, oh yeah, check out this.
Oh no, he didn't defend himself. He was just like, oh man,
you got me.
All right.
First day.
Okay. Red, green, yellow.
Well, there's something kind of cool about people that are completely unaware and they're just kind of playing a lot of the part to get the rewards.
Yeah.
And they're baffled why you call them out on it. Like I did all the box checks.
Yeah.
And now you missed the important part.
Yeah.
Is the how to play this fucking thing. We're having a conversation about an accordion right now.
Yeah.
I killed a prostitute with a hammer last night.
Hey, to each his own, man.
Her name was Accordion.
What? Yeah.
So you just get back into town today?
Yeah, I did, man. I just flew in a couple hours ago. Landed at 9:30ish in the morning.
Yeah. Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, been awake since yesterday.
Right? Mountains?
Yeah,
Resort
mountains,
town, kind of?
cold. Yeah. It's just like a regular small town, and it just seemed really chilly. And then I'm like, oh, it's pretty chilly. And then the next day, it's like snowing. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Probably the 5th time I've ever seen snow, to be honest, which was nice. I loved it, man.
When you're sitting there with a windbreaker on and cutoffs,
Walking around with
ice cream in
vans,
your hand, yeah.
and soaking in all the snowflakes and snow, like that was crazy. I was just like, I wasn't prepared for this, but I had a big jacket, which was nice. But these shoes were terrible in snow. Vans are not good in snow.
Yeah, you really, really have no idea. That's what I mean. I think.
You grew up in snow, right?
Oh yeah, I grew up in snow.
Ooh.
I got snowballs, the whole deal. Yeah, it was terrible. Now that I look at the distance that I had to walk from in the snow to school as like 10 years old,
Yeah.
minus 40, and I think about a 30-minute walk with some other kids the same age for safety.
Sure.
Through literally past the forest and over a river, up a hill to this school.
Wow.
And
So you grew up in the countryside.
you would think Canada is the countryside.
Hilarious. Yeah.
But now looking back, this is late 70s.
Uh-huh.
So there was, I grew up in a project in Hamilton called, it was Kenora Avenue Projects area. So we'd have to walk past a graveyard, no joke, past a graveyard, down a hill through this industrial factory where my mother used to work at, a shoe factory called Cougar Shoes.
Okay.
And she worked in the offices there. And through this gully, up a hill, over a bridge, and then past this old lady's house that we used to throw rocks at her house.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking about this yesterday. We as children, we'd see this old person that lived in a house and taunt them as children. And, now I wish I was that old man in the house because I would shoot all those kids with a gun on the front lawn.
That's funny.
And had them dragged through the town.
You're just like, get away.
I'd set up bear traps on the front lawn.
Yeah?
Because you just put private property signs and you can kill people. Well, you can do that in the States, right?
No, I'm pretty sure you can't. Not here.
No?
That's a Canadian thing.
No.
Yeah.
I think if you go in someone's home, you can execute them.
No, not in the state of California.
No way.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Maybe.
I applied for my gun license.
Oh, it should be coming in, I'm sure.
They don't do any of those.
Background check or anything?
I got a one-way ticket to Vegas coming up. I'm really excited about.
Jesus Christ, Jason.
I know. That's crazy. America's off the hook.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shootings.
It's a scary time, man. A scary, scary time.
I was thinking about this. It's become people are scared to get together in groups. And I think that's how you divide people. If they're not willing to congregate in public places and hear each other's voices, everything's manipulated through
fear.
Through fear.
Yeah.
But then you do like attacks on certain groups to extinguish the problem, but they have kids, and it gets a little Game of Thrones. I will revenge my father.
Yeah.
And you can't blame.
I think at the end of the day, we just need to listen and love a lot more, and just be more
here
mindful.
We go. Pull out the Beatles albums while I play with my pussy.
Hit it! Hit it, guys. From the top.
Imagine a world.
Okay, so I won't use the word love around you. I'll use another word.
No, and I'm being predictable and flippant, but
Yeah.
I'm for the same cause.
Yeah.
But I don't really believe in people.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But
It's a masses.
tolerance.
When people are left to their own devices, and we're all included, when it goes Mad Max Fury Road,
Yeah.
everybody's politics. It's survival, and people kind of carry that with them wherever they go, and it's a very dog-y.
Yeah. And just a crazy world.
It's
Everyone's crazy.
Jesus. We need more Jesus in the world.
I don't know what we need, but to each his own.
No, I mean like Hollywood Jesus.
Oh, Hollywood Jesus.
That guy always makes me smile.
Yeah, he's great.
Kevin
Lee Light.
Kevin Lee Light is Hollywood Jesus. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I remember he had a rainbow cloak for Pride.
Yep.
And Russell's got a great picture of him sitting in the back of his Rolls Royce, and Jesus is driving the car.
That is
Yeah, he drove around all day.
awesome.
Yeah, there's all kinds of characters. But, going from the neighborhood that you grew up in to Hollywood Boulevard, I'm mainly from the Comedy Store down to the whiskey.
Yeah.
That's a whole different world altogether.
Different world, man. But at the same time, it's the same. Certain characters are swapped out. It's like you.
It's a weird sitcom.
Yes.
Some characters die off.
There's some recurring characters.
It is very much a medieval kind of Game of Thronesy. There's some people that are in political situations.
Sure.
There's crazy, like you'll see like Boom.
Yeah.
And
Boone is a guy that is like you see him like, hey, what's up, Boone? Or
Yeah.
you run into him somewhere at the Grove, and he's walking carrying his stuff. Just,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, Boone? And people are like, how do these two people know each other?
Yeah.
That I think the outside perspective looking in, because we know it's crazy and we're at terms with it.
Yeah.
It's like we're all misfits, land of the misfit toys.
Yeah.
But when you're like Eddie Whitehead, Eddie Whitehead.
The guy with cerebral palsy?
No, Eddie Whitehead. He would play the harmonica. Well, anyway, like I ran into him and he was like on the corner playing the harmonica and asking for change in the cars. He was like, "Hey, Seuss," I'm like, "What's Eddie? What's up, man?" We had this long conversation.
Yeah.
We were talking. I'm like, "Hey, man, well, I gotta get going." He's like, "All right, man. I'll see you at the store tonight." And there was cars there because I stopped in the little median, the little island in the middle of the street to talk to him. And then I kind of look back and I see all these people in the cars just kind of like, looking at him.
What's
looking
going
at me.
down?
Yeah, what's going down? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I just happen to know this guy.
Yeah.
Like Boone too. It's like I saw him at a Starbucks. I'm like, dude, you want something? He's like, I'll take a coffee, a small coffee. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Another day at the office.
Another day at the office and people are like, what? They're trying to find a correlation. I was like, how do these two?
I love having people confused. That's why I like being at parties where I'm not supposed to be at.
Yeah.
I'm the only one there in the leather jacket.
But that's what's great. That's what's so beautiful about what we do is like we don't have to dress up for shit anymore. You're an artist.
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
Yeah,
you show up looking like this.
As
hey,
is.
As is.
If I've had situations where there's been dress codes and things like that, I'm like, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think I'm supposed to wear. If we can't work this out, then I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Your party sucks anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that I remember going to this nice restaurant. It was like they took me out to lunch, and it was like a business kind of thing. And I walked in. He's wearing suit and tie, and I'm wearing my jean jacket with the studs, and my shit kicker boots or whatever. And I remember getting stared at a lot, but I'm like, I belong here just like anyone else. I don't know what they've done with their lives. They don't know what I've done. So it's like, who gives a fuck? But people love to judge, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I love to force them to judge and then just fucking prove them wrong in the end.
Yeah.
Malachi. Remember Children of the Corn?
Oh, no.
You never, that was a horror movie where kids
I'm guessing you're
involved with the
into
devil.
horror films.
A little bit.
Yeah?
Not as much as you'd think.
No.
I more curate obscure, a lot of the movies are based in horror and things like that, but I like a variety of different things, I like nature documentaries, a lot of that.
Yeah. The gory stuff when they're like, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen Monsters Inside of Me about parasites that are in all of us?
Oh, awesome.
It's pretty horrific. And various parasitic worms and things like that burrow into your lower intestines.
Shit.
Lay eggs behind your eyes, so
That's cool.
you just think about Afghans all the time.
Okay.
The quilts?
Uh-huh.
No.
What?
I told you should have smoked some weed with me.
No, I'm in for the ride, man. I've been around you enough. I already know what's going on.
Yeah. But have we done gigs together? We've
I
never
think
really
we've done
been
gigs in town. You
Yeah.
know, we've done gigs in town, which has been cool. That's always been fun.
Where's some of your favorite places to do spots around this place? Because I have maybe 4.
4.
Maybe 4.
I think there's only 4
Yeah.
major clubs here. I love the Comedy Magic Club.
I've never even walked in there.
It's a dope club.
I heard it's quite.
They treat you really nice for like a young
up and
comer. Like they give you the treatment of something you look forward to as a nobody.
A
you know?
taste.
Yeah, a taste. They treat you really well.
Industry standard.
Yeah, they walk in, they give you a nice meal. They give you a nice check for a spot, 8-minute spot.
Wouldn't it be nice to take like about probably off the top of your head, you could think of 6 to 50 club managers that could probably spend a week working there to figure out how to really run a club.
Sure, I think that should be some kind of curriculum that.
There's no workshop. Comedy club is very different. People run it like a bar or a restaurant.
And it works for some places, and other places just like this is so detrimental for business. It's like, what are you doing? You know, but I think each place has its own line. I mean, you look at the Comedy Store, you compare it to the Laugh Factory, and then compare that to the Improv, and they all seem to work in their own similar but different ways. You know?
Yeah, they have a what is it called? Like a current, a gravity that kind of hovers around them. It's consistently that.
Yeah, it's a gravity thing, and it'll attract a certain type of comic to that club, and it also will attract a very specific kind of audience member, you know? That's always interesting to me.
Like Jay Davis. He's kind of the guy that has his own thing where wherever Jay goes, his audience goes.
Yeah.
So it's just hookers.
Friendly people.
It's always the nicest looking ladies at Jay's shows.
What's the show he has here on Melrose?
Oh, the Parlor.
The Parlor.
Yeah, he's back to once a month. It was gone. It was
once a week.
It was once a week for 4 years.
Yeah,
and then they retired it. Yeah, you've done it.
We've done that show together for sure.
Right. Yeah. What happens there when I go on?
Fucking, you rip.
No. Sometimes they hate me, so you may be coming on a good night because it either goes. It's a very uppity.
Oh, they were laughing at my jokes. Maybe I don't know. I have to take one jab, and I'm like, shit.
No, it's all good. They're nice. They're nice folks.
I could be totally honest with you. I've never done good in that room.
Yeah,
never. Like never. I probably had 1 or 2 pops that in my head I'm like, at least I got that, but it is not good for me because it's, you know, it's the who's who. You know, it's like you're saying, a very good looking crowd, and they're there to see good looking people and
famous people.
And then I come out fucking looking like fucking
it's not.
Looking like Napoleon Dynamite and Pedro had a kid or some shit, you know?
Yeah. I come out like the Grim Reaper, ruining everyone's anniversary dinner.
Oh, shit.
Who was it? Was it you? Somebody was telling me at the store, it goes, I love it when they hate you. And it's not personal, but they were like, the audience, you can see their guts turning.
Yeah.
Inside of them as they're completely submersed in this vile behavior. It's really fun. I like to wring them out a little bit.
I love watching you perform because it's like you thrive in this space that not a lot of comics want to go to on their own, sober, willingly.
I know it's terrible, but it's
not terrible. It's art, man. I mean, it's art, man. Some people work in a safe zone, and some people don't want to work in this space because they're afraid of, I don't know, not controlling the chaos.
Do you know Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the girl in the well?
Yeah.
And she has a revelation as she looks up. She notices all the broken fingernails and the monsters at the top. That's where I like to start comedy, at the bottom of the well, and try and claw my way up to the top. Because when I get to the
And you
top,
see the fingernails there, you're like,
oh, I'm eating them on the way up.
good.
And then when I get a hold of that half queer transvestite and bite a hole in his chest, we'll show him who's boss.
But there's something to be said. I mean, it's like, I think we had this conversation in the front patio, where it's like,
I think
that's where it was.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
it was. It's like comedy's so subjective, you know. It's like,
Army. Maz is. He was saying I did Maz Jabrani's show.
okay. What happened?
It was devastation.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Army was like, dude, I love, like, they got to see something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might not be the best representative of something else,
Sure, it's something else.
but it's something else.
It's comedy, but
Yeah.
it's in a different quadrant.
You taped a special, didn't you?
No, I haven't. I want to. I've done like, Late Show and that kind of thing, Adam Devine's, and it's...
Yeah.
I
You're
talk
like, how
about-
many guest spots am I going to do this year?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm
Yeah.
playing ball. I'm
Yeah.
popping these spots.
And I'd like to talk about more, I go on stage.
Elaborate, yeah.
Yeah,
Opposed to these sprinting sets. I got caught up in that, like 15, 20-minute sets, and being in a television situation and having that rhythm. And it worked in the clubs too, especially in Europe, because they were only 20 to 30-minute sets anyway, as a headliner. Some
nice.
shows you'd open, some you middle. So you do 3 or 4 shows a night, sometimes in the city of London or what have you. But the sets were shorter. And then the Edinburgh Festival was 1 year, you'd be doing an hour, 60-minute set. So in between that...
For a month, right?
Yeah, that's a long haul. You should check that out.
I want to go to that
It's
festival
expensive.
so bad.
Go and stay on someone's couch. I totally recommend it. I went the first year as a student, and then I think I went up there a secondary time, and then the third time I'd done my show, because the 2 visits that I'd made there, I signed with a management company that bankrolled the whole
that's
thing
awesome.
for me.
Yeah.
So I went down there, and not only that, but picked up a really good business relationship with a company over there.
That's
It
awesome.
allowed me to work for 5 years, 6 days a week, in 10 different countries. You know what I
Crazy.
mean?
Yeah.
So that from the Edinburgh Festival. And I wasn't even doing my show. This is from guest spots I was doing on other shows. Obviously, it's
See,
things happen.
See, but what you just said lends itself to what we were talking about just a couple minutes ago. It's like some people are so caught up, they do a certain type of comedy and they say, hey, you got to do this to work. It's like you go with what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's art. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to produce. And, it's, and look, you've worked and have worked for a long time. It's just a testament to doing what you know.
Yes. And definitely that festival gives you probably the broadest cross section of comedy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to go there sometime. It's
It's a long haul.
yeah.
Scottish food and weather and beer. It's cool though.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally about doing 5 years of comedy in LA in 30 days.
Which I am all for. It's like a boot camp of sorts,
Completely. So you're not only
And you have to adjust your crosshairs because you have to figure out what premises ride and what don't ride with how you're presenting it. It's like
the whole momentum of it, because you got to think you're going to have nights where there's 4 people from Holland, a family, and that's your entire audience, and you got to talk to these people for 1 hour.
yeah,
I struggled.
damn.
It was good, very good experience.
Are the shows there all ages?
There was kids at my shows in some cases.
Okay.
But they're warned. There was disclaimers and things and what have you, But people go kind of openly and go and see a variety of different things. And they've been conditioned so much with the broad section. People come there to see something different and do
Yeah.
some cool shit. So It's the whole month of August. You know,
Yeah.
1 hour shows. You do like 28 solo shows, and then try and recoup some of your financial losses by doing guest appearances on other shows and late night gigs and stuff. There's always something going on.
That's so cool. That would be a dream come true if I was able to pull that off. You know, hopefully this year. Who knows?
Think of the patio. This is the patio of the Comedy Store in the entire city. The whole city looks like the patio of the Comedy Store.
Oh, cool.
The entire city of Edinburgh, triple their rent, go to Tenerife on holiday, and the clowns move in, and it's the patio of the store.
Nice.
Except you've got people with dialects, languages from all over the world. Some people, second, third language is English, but you're all kind of in this place, and there's no voice of reason. So everything's up for grabs. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun.
That's what's so baffling too. Is like here in the States, you like comics are just for the most part just one language, but you go to other like I had the opportunity to go. Well, Montreal, you see some of the comedians down there. They're French, English, you know, comedians from all over the world there. But I went to Mexico to do stand up down there. And
what city?
I went to Mexico City.
I did Mexico City too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did 3 shows there.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. I've been trying to get over there for years.
Yeah, it's
still
cool.
It's still in a very I haven't been in it a couple of years, but it's still new.
It's still in its infancy, you know. But I think the eldest stand-up comic, as we know, stand-up here in the States is like over 10 years, a little over 10 years, give or take, you know. But
this is Finland. 10 years, like all these countries are going through their growing pains in this medium that Americans have created, stand-up comedy. People have been speaking in front of people for since the beginning of time, but in the traditional sense of stand-up comedy is its in its truest form. You'll see that because of the internet, people are getting fans of this, and they're interpreting in their own way. But the format, it rings true and it works everywhere. Is a spotlight, a microphone, stage, audience, go. What are you doing?
Right. And one of the things I've noticed is, I remember talking to some of the comedians down there, and they said like there was a guy there who said that he taught himself how to speak, read, understand English
to learn how to do comedy. And now when he thinks of doing a bit, he thinks of it in English and then translates it into Spanish, which is his first most dominant language that he speaks. And they speak English, pretty good. I mean, pretty well. But it's probably some languages are a little more like German. The language is very harsh. And so some of that might not transfer to humor unless it was like Can you imagine Brian Holtzman as a German comedian?
Right.
It would sound like a hate crime, it already does.
Right. Already, yeah. So
I love it.
Oh, check out in 2 languages.
Check out Brian if you're at the Comedy Store.
Brian Regan, Brian
Holtzman. Do you know Brian Holtzman?
Yeah, Brian Regan.
Yeah.
Brian Holtzman. My God.
Yeah. Brian Holtzman.
Yeah, Holtzman is great, man.
Did you see Regan's Netflix special?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
you can see a lot of people bitten from him.
Yeah, his cadence, his being so animated.
Yeah.
The bit that he had about why no one has ever thought of miking the audience to ask questions. I thought that was hysterical.
I lost train of thought. Well, he was miking the audience?
No, the bit that Brian Regan had, right? In the special, the new special that he came out, where he's like, I'm baffled why no one has ever thought of miking the audience when they're asking questions at a press conference.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And you could just hear, and then the answer or whatever. I thought that bit was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, he's, I remember seeing, especially Just for Laughs would showcase, we got to see all the best of the original guys. Or all the gala performers at the festival. So Brian was always on there. There was dozens of comedians that I've ran into through being in the business for a while.
Yeah.
And I saw you on this fucking show, Jim, Harlan Williams and Hots. And there's dozens of guys who've come through that festival. And But the first year that you did it, what show were you doing? New Faces?
No, the first year I did it, I went down there with Jeff Ross for the roast battle. And I was doing the wave. Yeah, I did the wave, and I was kind of helping out.
No pressure. You got to hang out.
No pressure. And when I was down there, I was kind of bummed out because I didn't get to do a show or nothing. And I was just like, man, I really would love to, and I didn't. And then the year after that, I went to JFL again, but I went as a new face, which was amazing. You know,
that's great.
And I got
that's what you want.
The feel of it. And
who was on your new faces?
Chris Garcia. Who else? David. I'm trying to think.
Was it Murhej? Dave
Jordan. No. David Gorby.
Okay.
And then Jordan Rock.
Any Canadians? There must have been
not Jordan Rock. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan.
Did you go to the strip club?
No. It didn't go. I went to a steakhouse.
Went to a steakhouse?
Can I tell you about the steakhouse?
I want to hear about the strip club.
No, I ended up not going.
Why? Oh, you're in love.
No, I ended up not going. There were a bunch of people that went, and actually on
I'm just trying to drag you down.
No. We actually tried to go, and you would love this story, right? So we tried to go, and it was like this thing. It was like it looked like a strip club. So we were about to walk in there, right? And it was David Ross.
It was a deli.
David Ross. Who was it? I'm at Weinberg.
It was a brothel.
And Chris Garcia, right? And we walk into this place, and there's like these barricades, right? And walk in, and there's like, it looked like a strip club. It was like, oh, let's see what's going on in here. And before we walk in, there was a woman outside.
Shitting into a bucket.
Close. What she said, as we walked by, she's like, all you people are going to die. Everyone dies at some point.
No way.
And then we're like, all right, time to call it a night, guys. And we got the fuck out of there.
No.
Yeah.
You guys, see, that's the difference between your culture and my culture. Is I would lean in and go, and...
Jason Rouse would have been like, can I get you a cup of coffee or something? Yeah. Let's talk.
Like, I don't think we can fuck here, but let's get out of here, crazy. You got bite marks on your own face.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I get involved. I can handle the crazies.
You can handle crazy?
Yeah, I've dated them.
Well...
La 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 la.
Ding 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 blah.
I'm around crazy people all the time.
We all are, but I mean, there's elevated crazy. There's a spectrum.
Yeah, I keep an arm's length.
Yeah,
and kind of address it. And if they're not physically going to lunge, or if I got to worry about getting pink eye because they rubbed their finger on my gums when I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? Some old homeless people will scratch their assholes and go up to kids and rub it on their gums.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard of that. You lying sack of shit.
That's what I'm going to do when I'm old.
Well, good for you, man.
How do you think this is all going to unfold?
For who?
No, like what do you see? And you do comedy until the legs fall off of it.
Stand up is what I want to do, man. If I could just live in, I felt I've already made it in the sense that it's like I can pay my bills, take care of my parents.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're a hero.
The rest is extra, bro.
If somebody went up to you in like at the lowest point in your high school career, leaned in over your shoulder and says, "Listen, you're going to tell jokes. You're going to take care of your folks. Everything's going to be fucking cool. These guys don't know what... all these guys are going to commit suicide on this side. But everything's going to be fine."
Yeah.
There'd be such a unnecessary... Like, you do a sense of relief that would just fall away.
I think at that point I would have been like, how do you take the safety off this pistol?
Yeah, right? But
because it's a hard business.
You're like, listen, you're only going to be able to pay your rent telling jokes. You'd be like, perfect.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, and comedy does get stressful, and you're like, "Fuck me!" But at the end of the day, it's like
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. The fact that I can pay my bills and
Yeah.
take care of my parents and
Yeah.
have a little extra for a cup
Yeah.
of coffee with a friend.
Yeah, you're not walking around with snakeskin boots and shit and
Nah,
doing
man,
stupid shit like, you can just put some time into it.
You know what's crazy? I just got internet for the first time.
Bragger. Wait
First
till you
time.
see an iPhone, you're gonna freak out.
Yeah, man. But I got internet for the first time, and I haven't had it for like over 5 years.
Yeah.
And at that point, my neighbor my neighbor had his he didn't have a password on his Wi-Fi, so I used that for a while.
Oh shit! For how long?
He for like 2 years.
That's pretty solid run.
Yeah, it was great, but I would.
Who does not? Was the old dude?
Yeah, older person.
There you go.
And I was just like, and then I remember when the password came, I'm like, shit.
I'm out.
Now what? But I would just go to Starbucks. But the fact that I now have internet, I mean, it's a big deal. It doesn't sound like much to people listening, but it's a big deal for me.
Well, it's like you feel like Captain Kirk. You got your own chair at the SS Enterprise.
Yeah.
And you can hold down. No one's cutting off your connection. You can rip through your what is it?
100 megabits per second.
Dude, were you blowing out this guy's Wi-Fi bill with downloading like full-length movies for 3 days? He's in there. I got 10 grand bills. What the fuck, Marjorie? He's beating his wife. Who's downloading all these fuck movies?
No, man, it was like so cool. Like the fact that I was able to get the internet, was just like, but stuff like that is like, that's why I say it's like my overhead is low. I don't blow money on stupid shit, but it's like, man, from telling jokes, I could fucking do all this. Like, this is dope. I've already made it. Anything else is extra.
And those, selling fruit from restaurant to restaurant.
Did dad mow lawns? I mean, it took over the lawn business for my dad when he got sick. I'm like, I've been through the ringer, so it's like to tell jokes. I mean, fuck, I got the better half of this deal already. So
it is a win-win for sure. And you're doing some shows. You're in town for a while. Yeah,
I'm in town. I'm doing Oxnard this Wednesday, which is the 20th. Oxnard, I'm doing a show at 7:30. This Monday, the 18th, I'm at the Comedy Store, 8 o'clock, doing the Raw 5 Minutes with Andrew Santino on the show.
Nice.
And and I got some other gigs here at the Comedy Store probably this weekend.
That's cool. And you're going to make some trips out to Canada in February and see the snow again?
Yeah, I would love to, actually. I would love to. Toronto something.
I won't be there in the winter, but the summers in Toronto are pretty fucking awesome.
Is that when you go?
Yeah, I usually go like my time frame of Canada is April 1st to October 31st.
Okay.
Those are the only months, in between those months are the only time that you'll ever see me in Canada.
I think I might have to tag along with you this year.
I'll be there in August.
Okay.
And April.
Okay.
That's it. I'm doing the late, and then I'm going to do Europe, I think, in September and something maybe in June, but we'll see. And I have some shows coming up, too.
What do you got?
I got something kind of fun.
Ooh.
I got something kind of fun. Sam Tripoli.
Nice.
He does this thing called The Naughty Show, and they're always a lot of fun.
They are. They're always a fucking banger. Is he doing it at the store?
No, this time it's at Harvell's in Long Beach, in that burlesque club there.
That's a great space, too. I mean,
it is a very,
the padded 3 doors in the back, and it's underground. It feels right. That venue's right for the show.
George Perez, Kate Quigley. Who else do we got on the show? Myself. There's going to be some adult film stars, Jaden Cole and Brett Rossi. She's going to be there. It's going to be insane.
That's all funny comedians, all my friends, and yeah, that's a fire lineup, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy night. I'm looking forward to that. Sam does maybe about 3 or 4 naughty shows a year.
Okay.
I usually get on at least a third of them or half of them. And we're going to fuck some shit up. Where can people find you?
Twitter. At Jesus Trejo, JesusTrejo. And then Instagram, Jesus Trejo, and then put a number 1 at the end. Or JesusTrejo.com. Yeah, check it out.
Cool. And maybe we'll see you next year or at Just for Laughs again.
Hopefully. Let's make it a 4-peat,
Yeah.
So I did 3 years in a row. Hopefully we can do a 4th.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man.
La, la, la.
I don't care what society thinks. Good or nothing anyway. They're no better than